Hello everybody, this
Penis.
is Rose Rage and Erwin. We're going to be reacting to another Shoe on Head video. This is Why Do They Hate Sidney Sweeny? And I saw a little bit about this the other day, just simply because I was just
Why do they hate Sidney Sweeny?
because I was just on the internet and happened to be listening to like random videos. But if I remember correctly, this is about a American Eagle ad. And it was talking about having good genetics, basically.
Who's Sidney Sweeny?
Blonde lady, big tits, hot.
Ooh,
Basically.
my type.
If you've been living under a
big
rock,
dog.
you probably haven't heard that Sidney Sweeny was in an American Eagle commercial.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sidney Sweeny
That's
has
Sidney
great
Sweeny.
genes.
Get it? Jeans? Jeans? Because she's attractive? And she is. I can see
Ooh.
why men like her.
Booba. Also, she's wearing
hot.
a really hot outfit today in this video. Anyway,
She has a really cute face and a nice body. But personally, my favorite thing about Sidney Sweeny is that she's a Nazi. Did they mean to include a bunch of Nazi dog whistles in this? How the f did she agree to this? Actual Nazi ad. The only way Sidney Sweeny would be okay with doing an ad like this is if she was a Nazi.
This is Nazi shit.
I don't think people know the definition of Nazi anymore. I don't.
I did not see this coming, you know. I know that was awful. Well, anyway.
Sorry.
Stop the ad! That is being racist!
Some of you guys might be too young to remember, but back in the day when an ugly girl was jealous of a pretty girl, she would simply call her a whore. But that's a good thing now, so we have to call her racist. I am going to be completely honest, I have no idea what movies Sidney Sweeny is in. All I know, she is a very popular
Euphoria.
celebrity, and I always see discourse on Twitter about her being mid. What is wrong with you people? Who is not mid nowadays? I saw Anne Hathaway get called mid the other day. Anne Hathaway.
fuck?
If these women are mid, I'm like a
Bruh.
sub-zero. I'm like a -2. I am like a horseshoe crab on the bottom of the ocean. Horseshoe crabs are pretty base though. 445 million years, no evolution. That's me. Millions of years on YouTube, no evolution. Sidney Sweeny has like a fun, bubbly personality. She seems like she enjoys being feminine, and it seems like she doesn't hate men, which is a big plus. She really plays
doesn't.
into the like, I'm a hot blonde bombshell, I have big titties thing, which, are we back to liking titties as a society? Didn't Kim Kardashian deflate her ass recently? That's how I knew the ass fad was over. The fall of Kim Kardashian's ass and the rise of Sidney Sweeny. Ass No, I don't objectify women. I respect women, okay? The only thing that matters to me is a woman's mind. And thighs. My jeans are brown. Sounds like I shit my pants.
The woke outrage over Sidney Sweeney's ad has gone from, well, bad to worse.
Some people have taken issue with the phrase great genes being used over images of a blonde, blue-eyed woman.
If Sidney Sweeny is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
TikTok and Twitter absolutely
like,
suck.
you see, Trump doesn't give a fuck. That's the funniest part. He's just like, if she's a registered Republican, that's hot. Anyways, bye guys.
Sidney Sweeny does shit like that all the time. I don't know why people are gonna fucking freak out over it. She's beautiful.
Grew up with
She's
thousands and
fucking
thousands of people
hot.
calling this ad fascist propaganda. Yes, they literally took
It
the
is
jeans
not.
and jeans pun to be some kind of Nazi dog whistle because Sidney Sweeny is an attractive blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, which apparently has been an extinct species for so long in advertisement that when people saw this, they got scared and thought they saw the ghost of Hitler. Is
like,
Sidney
"Huh."
Sweeny a Nazi? No. But do these people kind of have a
No.
point about this ad? Also no, they are unwell. But let's hear them out. Let's watch some of
Yeah.
these TikToks. Let's listen to them. Listen to their points. We're not gonna be
No,
mean. We're
mommy,
not gonna own the libs,
no.
okay? We are going to hear them out.
You guys are complaining about that Sidney Sweeny jeans ad, so I went and saw it.
That's Nazi propaganda.
Holy the 2014 Tumblr. What the f? Out here looking like she walked straight out of a Stone Toss comic. Looking like you're going on the thumbnail of this video. Listen, if your bangs end in the middle of your forehead, you don't have to tell me your political opinions. I know them. I can tell. Okay, sorry. I got it out of my system. Let's continue.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sidney Sweeny American Eagle ads are weird. Like, fascist weird. Like, Nazi propaganda weird.
So this commercial was apparently a reference to an old Brooke Shields commercial from the 80s.
The secret of life lies hidden in a genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. This may result in the origin of an entirely new species, which brings us to Calvin's and the survival of the fittest.
Calvin Klein jeans.
Oh my god, she
Damn.
turns into a swastika. She was like 14 in that ad, by the way. Really creepy. So
Yeah,
at
that
least
is
Sidney
really
Sweeny is of legal age. 14 is actually pretty old for Brooke Shields if you know her history and her lore. If anything, that is
I
the
don't
most
know the lore.
fucked up thing about this
I don't know the lore, and I don't think I want to.
Sidney Sweeny ad, referencing an old ad of a child star who was abused by Hollywood. But yeah, it was a callback to an old commercial. And Sidney Sweeny is the
Interesting.
current day hot celebrity, so they chose to do it with her. They unfortunately failed to consider the fact that in current year, white people are not allowed to say that they have good genes, because that is Nazi propaganda.
A blonde
Say
hair.
propaganda. I just like
Even though she does have good genes.
Yeah,
I mean, look at her.
titties.
Look at her. Titties. Exactly. See, I have horrible fucking genes, but pretty good looks for the
Well,
heritage that
good,
I
good
have.
looks are a part
for
of
the
genes,
heritage. I pulled the short straw on a lot of mental and physical things.
Right, but you
I
got
pulled some
the
pretty
you got-
fucking long straws on the looks part of it.
yeah,
know?
you got the look straw. You just got the negatives that come with it. But yeah.
Blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes.
'Cause she's pretty.
That is Nazi propaganda.
You don't get to drop lines
No,
about
it's not.
inherited traits, blue eyes, and great
I can.
genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster.
A white, blonde, blue-eyed, Hitler's wet dream talking about how much she loves her.
This person's clearly on some kind of drugs. I'm not gonna lie, I can just tell by looking at them.
Is Sidney Sweeny even, like, does she have anything to do with Russian?
I don't think so. What does Russia have to do with anything right now?
Everyone's calling it Nazi propagandist, but is she even Russian?
You mean German?
Just German. Shut up. I don't know my history.
Switzerland is
She's
an island.
Irish.
Switzerland is an island.
Shut up.
Every time I think
You know,
back to
after
that
you guys
comment,
made fun of me for that, Wade pulled up a map
Yep.
of the world and told me to point at Switzerland.
I forget, where did you actually point to?
I don't fucking know.
You really do need to learn the world map, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, I majored in art history, alright? Not geography.
Well, like, even still, like, I think you really need to learn your directions, I'm gonna be honest. No, like, that's not even
I
like
can
a
hold my
hate.
fingers up.
That's not even like a hate thing. That's just like a really, you should learn the world map.
I'm never gonna use it.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. If you know, we keep doing this channel, eventually you're gonna have people going, hey, I'm from such and such country, you know, like, and then you're gonna be like, oh,
Hey,
where's
Erwin,
that?
Point to my country on a map.
Yeah, exactly. Don't you want to avoid that?
I know a little bit of my geography, but like I try to learn and retain information, and I don't. I've tried. I've gone through the Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru. You know, I've done all of that. I've memorized the map at one point in time, and then like I took a test, and then the very next day it all left, and I couldn't tell you where America was.
Okay, so I can tell you the reason why that happened. It's because you weren't actually, like, learning it, you were just memorizing it.
Well,
And and that's something that I also struggled with as a kid too.
I know exactly.
No, it's not just giving eugenics, it's giving male fantasy.
I like how eugenics and being attractive to men are like equally terrible things to these people.
Sidney Sweeney's jeans ad is giving ethnic state propaganda. It is giving dystopian. It is giving 1940s Germany.
Why do they all speak the same? Why do they all do the same shit? They all say the same shit. It's giving. It's giving.
Put a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned woman in an ad and say she has good genes. I don't know if I can say this, but it's literally giving Nazi propaganda.
It's giving. Also, the flesh-colored microphone? Why? It's giving dick, okay? It's giving
Yep.
It's giving
I can't believe I actually have to
Damn.
She's fucking hot. You can't tell me she isn't.
explain this, but there is a reason that they picked a girl named Sidney Sweeny for this ad, and it's not just her blonde hair and her blue eyes. Sidney Sweeny is laying with her German Shepherd dog in this shoe. Her name is Sidney Sweeny, so her initials are SS. They intentionally included her German Shepherd dog in the photo shoot.
Oh my god. Take your meds. Meds, 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 meds. Her name is Sidney Sweeny. Her initials are SS, like the Nazis. The dog is a German Shepherd.
Jesus
German,
Christ.
like the Nazis. Are they putting crack in birth control nowadays? What is going on? She is a hot woman. She is a hot woman because of the way she looks.
Yeah.
She looks the way she looks because of genetics. She has great genes. That is how a normal person sees it. She's blonde and has blue eyes and her initials are SS and she has a German Shepherd. Is how a schizophrenic, politically brain-rotted person sees it.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling American Eagle. This is Jess. How can I help today?
Hi, I am a marketing student and was wondering if I could speak to someone who could maybe give me some insight as to what estimated return on investment there has to be willing to use white supremacy and eugenics as your marketing campaign.
On a marketing campaign?
Harassing some poor worker, doesn't even fucking speak English, has all to do with the commercial. These people are sick.
Yes, I recently saw American Eagle's eugenics marketing campaign where they used that white blonde girl and talked about how good her genes were in a time where racism is rampant in the U.S.
I see. Thank you for taking time to share your feedback.
Why are you bothering this random ass Philip woman with your West Wing ass TED talk? Nobody gives a
Okay, so there's no way to, as a student, I can't learn about when eugenics makes sense in marketing? No one on the marketing team can talk to me about that?
It's not even fucking eugenics.
I miss like 50 years ago when these people would just be serial killers instead of doing whatever the this is. She's even got other celebrities seething.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Haha, she did a dumb redneck voice, get it? Because all white people are dumb inbred hicks. Good one, Doja. Hey, by the way, why are you pandering to the same exact people who got your ass canceled for wearing a Sam Hyde shirt once? They all think you're racist too, girl, but nice try. Hope they see this.
Doja Cat is making fun of Sidney Sweeney's ad only because she realized after all those years of her kissing up to white supremacists, they're never going to accept her because she's a half-black woman. Wearing the Sam Hyde shirt, you dating all these white supremacists. So make fun of the ad all you want, but we'll never forget you rolling around in those chat rooms showing white supremacists your feet so they can make fun of your black ass.
Oh, they did see it, and they still hate you.
Weird adverts aside about how the best genes are characterized in a conventionally attractive white, blonde, blue-eyed woman. Not true. I mean, look at me. Within 5 years, or as soon as she shows any sign of aging, that's it. The moment she becomes visibly over 25.
Enjoy the ride now, babe, before you get too old and ugly and hit the wall. But wokely. This is just something I've noticed in the decade of criticizing feminism on the internet. Male feminists are the most misogynistic, sexist freaks ever when they finally have an acceptable, approved target to go after. God forbid you are a woman with the incorrect opinion, because hell hath no fury like a male feminist replying to you.
A strawberry blonde, blue-eyed woman marketing having great genes. This is just a whole fucking eugenics campaign, and I, for one, would like to throw myself off a balcony.
Do it. Do a backflip. Live stream it. Also,
Do
these
a
people just
flip!
straight up don't know what the eugenics movement is. Talking about genetics is not eugenics. Sidney Sweeny did not say she had the best genes or superior genes or that other
This is
people
true,
had
because
bad in
eugenics, back in ye olden times was, hey, you murdered everybody else just so that your genes were the only ones remaining.
Yeah, I don't see Sidney Sweeny committing eugenics.
Or it was like what the slave owners did back in America's slave period time, where they went and they bred people to have specific traits. Yeah, they did that with people too. They didn't just do that with animals. They did that with people too. And actually, the person who came up with eugenics was also a racist too, unsurprisingly. Because he viewed non-white people as less than human. Fun stuff.
inferior genes. Someone even made it like a fake ad, like, Beyonce has better genes, and it's like, why'd you pick the picture where she has like a blonde wig on?
This campaign is poking at women's greatest and most tender insecurity under the patriarchy, which is desirability and the beauty standard. It affects not only non-white women, even though this is clearly white supremacist, Aryan race propaganda, but it also adversely affects the majority of white women who do not naturally have
Irish.
blonde hair and blue eyes. Because yes, even the women who can achieve this look have to do it through artificial means in one way or another. The vast majority of white women are not naturally blonde. And of course, lots of white women are also insecure about having brown eyes. So that's a whole generation of young white women who are being further propagandized to purchase blonde hair dye and contacts for the rest of all time.
Okay, what? Are attractive women just not allowed to model anymore because, like, God forbid it makes some other women insecure? And as someone with brown eyes, I've never once felt insecure about having brown eyes. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into hyperborea, but I've seen myself photoshopped with blue eyes. Horrifying. So we've gone from Nazi propaganda to genocide to racism to now poor little girls are gonna feel insecure because they don't have blue eyes like Sidney Sweeny.
Another thing about the Sidney Sweeny beauty standard that is very important to note is that big boobs are a hallmark of what conservative men are attracted to. At the end of the early 2000s and through the 2010s, we were becoming a
Also, I want to point out that even though Sidney Sweeny has nice boobs, she doesn't really have big boobs. She's got
No, she doesn't.
average sized boobs. Like,
I mean, the only thing that people should really see Sidney Sweeny as is what she is. She is an amazing actress, and any company would be like falling over their feet, or at least they should be, to have her in like commercials or shows or movies, because she is an amazing actress.
and Hideo Kojima would be falling over to smell her feet or take pictures of her.
Because she accepted an ad, all of a sudden she is a Nazi propagandist. Like, damn, women just can't make money in this economy. Like, doing what you're good at in this economy, making jokes in this economy. This is why I sometimes fear having an online presence, because I know at some point we are going to do something that the whole fuck of our fan base is going to ask us to, like, clarify. At least I would hope they would ask for clarification instead of just bashing our
Or we're
faces
gonna
into
say
the
something
wall.
that completely contradicts something that we said before, and it's gonna be really funny.
a more progressive
People
society, and
sometimes
so we
forget that,
also
'cause we are
naturally
anime
progress to
women.
be a more ass-centric society.
In the 2000s, we were becoming more progressive,
said
so we started
ass.
objectifying women's butts. What? The communist utopia will be ass-centric, apparently. I didn't know the ass for thing was political. How does she know conservatives are all boob men? Conservatives in the audience, are you a boobs or butt guy? What political affiliation are the feet men?
I would think that like the ass would be the conservative take. I'm gonna be honest, because like, I'd think that'd be what the man would be staring at in a conservative situation. I imagine. If you're having a lot of babies, I imagine you'd be looking at the person's back a lot. You know,
Wearing
like
it doggy style because you can't stand to look at her face.
yep,
Yep.
that's the kind of joke that I was going for. Yeah.
And libertarians. Listen, they can try to disguise it with their little intersectionality buzzwords all they want, but at the end of the day, women just want a socially acceptable reason to hate other women. That's it.
Good genes passed on to offspring? That American Eagle ad with Sidney Sweeny is literally overt eugenics. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want to talk about how that ad is promoting eugenics, which it absolutely is, we also have to talk about how choosing not to wear masks when you can during an ongoing pandemic, because you're okay with a certain subset of people, primarily disabled people of color, dying for your own comfort, is also eugenics.
1 second. "2025. We are talking about wearing masks for COVID in 2025. I like how she's woke scolding the other woke scolds for not woke scolding about her particular pet issue. COVID broke the brains of so many of these people, man. It's because it's when the world was just a giant, safe HR longhouse where it was socially acceptable for them to be moral busybodies and never leave their home. It was like the closest to their lib shit utopia that we have ever gotten, and they miss it.
I remember growing up in a predominantly white community, wishing myself out of this body, out of this culture, take my name, if it meant that I could wake up blonde-haired and blue-eyed, never having to explain who I
wouldn't
am
be
or
able to
worry about
tolerate
being
your ass
accepted.
either.
That is why this American Eagle ad with Sidney Sweeny is especially off-putting.
Listen, I'm sorry that happened to you, but we live in a predominantly white country. If you go to another country, there will be a different beauty standard. If you go to the country of your ancestors, there will be a different beauty standard, and maybe it will look more like you. But again, she didn't say her genes were better or the best, and it's not like all the hot popular celebrities look like Sidney Sweeny. Look at Ana de Armas, look at Zendaya. They don't look anything like Sidney Sweeny, and they are known as very beautiful around Hollywood. This is why corporations and the media think in order to pander to the female gaze, everything has to be like average and frumpy and ugly, because women can't stop fucking projecting their insecurities. Not every character in a movie or a video game has to look like you. Not everyone in an ad has to look like you. Hell, the only time I see people who look like me is when I turn on the live-action Grinch movie. You notice men never say this shit, by the way? They usually go like, wow, that man is strong. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go to the gym. And women are like, wow, that woman is thin. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go complain.
What makes Sidney Sweeney's jeans better? Like, why did you get that joke? All us woke people are saying is that it's just a little bit weird to directly reference European jeans as better.
Again, she never
She's
said that her
Irish.
jeans were better. You are making shit up.
Now, when you think of the all-American girl, like the standard of like American beauty, you probably think blonde hair, blue eyes, white girl, right? You're not supposed to think that way.
You're not supposed to think that way, guys.
I love me a
That's double
Latina,
plus
but
ungood.
That's ingrained in
Sydney
you
Sweeney's
because of
fucking
negative
hot.
things that have been pushed on you by society.
When you think about the all-American woman, you should be thinking about an obese, transgender, disabled woman or something. What would be an acceptable vision of the American woman for this person? It's insane she's saying that we think Sidney Sweeny is hot because of negative things that have been pushed on us by society. No, bitch, we have eyes. And just because she is attractive does not mean you are also not attractive. Look at your full lips. That is a standard of beauty I'll never live up to, but that's okay, because I have other things that are beautiful and unique about me, just like you have other things that are beautiful and unique about you, regardless if Sidney Sweeny is held up as the American beauty standard. These are lessons your mother should have taught you, not a YouTuber. Sidney Sweeney's ad shows a cultural shift towards whiteness. Advertisements are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Boo! A white woman. Oh, the fucking author is white. I hate these people, man. Shut up. Shut up. It's one thing when it's like a non-white person talking about how white people suck. It's like, okay, you're just racist. But when it's a white person talking about white people suck, you need to be ground up into a pulp and fed to livestock. You would honestly be more useful that way. Ads are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Popular American culture is, indisputably, becoming more puritanical and more conservative. Puritanical? The focus of the ad was her tits and ass! This is not at all a conservative, puritanical ad. Have you seen what the puritanical right thinks of Sidney Sweeny? They think she's a whore, okay? They think she's a whore. The backlash has been swift and fierce, and some of it, at least if you ask me, is fair. The internet has been quick to condemn the advertisement as non-inclusive at best. Non-inclusive? Why the f does everything have to be inclusive? It's a commercial with one fucking person in it. Sweeney exudes a source of vintage sexiness that caters to the male gaze. She embodies the near mythological girl next door beautiful but low maintenance sexy femininity that dominated the media in the 1990s and early 2000s. Oh wow, that sounds great. You're telling me that's fascism? Waiter, more fascism please. What the f? It's just so funny, like, the left is currently losing their mind about how, like, they need to get young men to vote for Democrats again, and here they are, like, blondes with big s are fascism. Listen, the alt-right pipeline does not start with the American Eagle ad. It starts with you. What are you doing? This is not at all a conservative far-right ad. It's just a normal ad that would have ran like 15 years ago. But I guess that's what being far-right is nowadays. Being normal from 15 years ago. I love this random part of the article though. Young women are being radicalized through so-called clean skincare and healthy eating. So fascism is hot people eating healthy and having clean skin. Goebbels himself could not make better propaganda. Literally, as I am editing this video, the New York Times comes out with his opinion piece, Why the Right is Obsessed with Thinness. I would really, really appreciate if people stopped equating health and beauty to fascism, because if health and beauty are fascism, what is unhealthiness and ugliness? Unfortunately, a big part of socially progressive ideology is dismantling hierarchies and norms, and challenging what society sees as conventional, traditional, and beautiful. A really good example of this was those statues that were put up like all over different cities of like a frumpy woman in leggings. And the artist says like the purpose of these was to like challenge conventional beauty standards. And it's like, imagine looking like one of these women and then hearing like, oh yeah, this was put up to challenge beauty. Like, what do you mean by that? Remember the whole body positivity movement like 10 years ago? Remember like all the fat influencers? Remember when every single ad was like this ad, for example? Calvin Klein's latest underwear campaign is breaking big boundaries. Big boundaries? Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean by that? While fashion is starting to seriously consider creating more inclusive environment for consumers, there is still a huge mountain to climb before it is truly considered diverse. Huge mountain? No, that's just me. And that's why Calvin Klein, probably the most famous name associated with underwear, just launched a groundbreaking campaign. Groundbreaking? Oh, come on now. The campaign is all about feeling free to express
Queso breaking.
yourself, being uninhibited, and being provocative by challenging the norms we see on a regular basis. See? Challenging norms. It's all about challenging norms. This reminds me of that protein world controversy from 2015. Old heads will remember. I wrote an article about it for the Libertarian Republic. Wow, that was a long time ago. But anyway, a billboard with this ad for a protein powder supplement was put up and people lost their fucking minds. They vandalized it, they threatened to get a bunch of the employees fired, they threatened to go where the company was located with hammers, all because they committed the great crime of body shaming by daring to have a thin, attractive woman on their ad. This ad made other companies come out with their own like little virtue signaling things like passive aggressive, like everybody is ready. Like every fashion magazine, every beauty magazine was pumping this out the time, just fat, 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 fat. The rise of like Tess Holiday and the hashtag F your beauty standards. Oh my god. You could not escape this. Also suspiciously, body positivity only seemed to mean obese women. But yes, everywhere you looked, it was like fat, 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 and everyone was like, yes, queen! Well, now we live in Ozempic world, and the fat acceptance movement seems to have died. Like many of the fat influencers, unfortunately. And these same types of people are like crashing out about the Sidney Sweeny ad because they really do feel like all the work they have done to like socially engineer people's behavior and preferences has been just like destroyed overnight. Who would win? Decades of propaganda? One big booby girl. I wrote in the old article, I can't say I'm too surprised at the backlash towards this model's body. We are living in a world where instead of striving to better ourselves and live a healthy lifestyle, praising obesity and unattractiveness is becoming the norm. Well, shoe on head from 10 years ago, you will be happy to hear that it seems like it's no longer the norm. Because apparently not just American Eagle, but like Dunkin' Donuts and Arby's are using hot people in their ads again. Is the culture truly healing, or are we about to go into a deep financial recession? questions we should be asking.
Angry Reddit freaks also doxed Sydney, looking through her voting records and found out she's a registered Republican.
One of the most common things I saw about this were how, like, all the women getting mad about Sidney Sweeny were ugly.
What the
And
fuck?
I don't think that's true. There were some, like, pretty people in there. But it got onto this topic that I see all the time, and that is, why are liberal women so ugly? Leftists are ugly, conservatives are hot, which is not true, by the way. I was at January 6th, okay? But for the most part, stereotypes exist for a reason, right? Conservatives are, well, conservative with the way that they present themselves. They tend to follow norms and beauty standards, which is why, for example, the media called Hassan a, quote, progressive in a MAGA body. And how so many women on dating apps nowadays are looking for a man who votes Democrat but looks like a Republican. Everyone is aware of the stereotypes. And with leftists, you know the stereotype, like the overweight, blue hair, nose ring. They're not all ugly, of course, but many purposely make themselves look ugly. Because being ugly is saying f you to the man. Marcel Duchamp's art piece, Fountain, which was literally just a urinal, was a f you to art institutions and classical ideas of beauty. Those f-ass ugly concrete block brutalist buildings are another example. Brutalism emerged after World War II as a post-war modernist style, in part created as a f you to the classical architecture celebrated by, drumroll, the Nazis. Now think of those concrete buildings and the urinal and apply it to broader society. Basically, the blue hair and nose ring is a f you to, well, Sidney Sweeny. Hitler existed, so now everything has to be fat and ugly. Sorry. I don't know why so many on the left want to give the concept of beauty and health to the right, but it is not a winning strategy. Listen, I just want everyone's basic needs met, alright? I don't want people going in debt if they get into a car accident, or be homeless, or get sent to foreign wars. I didn't sign up for this stupid shit. It is funny though how, like, every time Sidney Sweeny is on camera, there's like a right-wing article like, woke is dead. Wokeness is no match for Sidney Sweeney's undeniable beauty. Are Sidney Sweeney's breasts double D harbingers of the death of woke? Was that
I would like to be smothered by wokeness in that case.
I would love to be. I would all over that wokeness. But like, why is natural beauty something that is condemnable? Just why?
Who knows?
She's got so much talent. She's an amazing actress. And apparently she's hot, so everyone hates her. Okay.
Yep.
It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. No sense. At all. Like, it's giving self-conscious and stupid.
Yep.
And then, like, I didn't know that blocky architecture was a big fuck you to the architecture used by the Nazis. Who fucking cares, honestly? I love beautiful architecture. I love whimsical and gothic. I almost said gossip. I love whimsical and gothic architecture. I love the white architecture. The architecture like what is normally associated with like Roman architecture. It's beautiful. I love arches.
Careful.
But
you're starting to sound like a Nazi propagandist.
Oh my god, I'm a Nazi propagandist. But like, architecture and art is my biggest thing. So like, the big fuck you to all things that are meant to be beautiful with a fucking urinal. You clearly don't have beauty in your own life to be shitting on the beauty of others. Find the beautiful. Plant some fucking flowers. Appreciate the life around you. Like, why do you have to fuck you to everything else just because one bad thing existed? I don't understand.
Because that takes effort.
That takes effort. Yeah, why is it so easy to just say fuck you to literally anything instead of putting in that little bit of effort?
Because people take the path of least resistance now.
You would be so much happier if you just put in that little bit of effort. If you gave your life a little bit of your own beauty, you wouldn't be so depressed that you would have to say fuck you to everything else. That's my own opinion.
That girl right about conservatives being boob guys? She might have been right after all. Honestly, this doesn't really make sense because, like, the left are the ones trying to normalize
porn and like OnlyFans culture and stuff like that. If anything, there is
Ew.
too much boobs everywhere. We need to calm down a bit. But when it comes to Sydney's like classical bombshell beauty, like I kind of get where they're coming from. Sidney Sweeny is a hot white woman who does not mind catering to the male gaze after we had a decade of hearing about how the male gaze is bad and toxic. A decade of hearing about how white people are bad and toxic. A decade of ugly, angry, fat androgyny seeping its way into everything and anything. When people say Sidney Sweeny is anti-woke, I don't even think they mean politically. I think they just mean like Sidney Sweeny is like looking into a time portal back to 1992. A time when porn addiction wasn't such a big issue. Every woman didn't show her hole online for $5. Hookup apps didn't exist. It's like a bunch of millennials and zoomers are longing for a time they never experienced. But yes, this is a cultural shift, but not necessarily a conservative one. Just a return to like normalcy, a return to normal Americana consumerism. In 2065, conservatives are gonna be like posting people twerking like, return! These same TikTok freaks who are attacking Sidney Sweeny have been sounding the alarm about this cultural shift for some time now. And we see a bunch of celebrities embracing like looking normal and healthy again. Like Demi Lovato is a perfect example of this. She was an obese, short hair, walking stereotype, crying about a frozen yogurt place, daring to sell sugar-free frozen yogurt.
I walked in, was so triggered that I left without froyo.
To now being skinny and healthy and married, and even making a TikTok dancing happily in that same frozen yogurt place.
The singer returning to the scene of the crime Wednesday, poking fun at herself on her social.
That's part of the reason these people are freaking out and saying like fascist aesthetics, because they know the chokehold they have had on culture is losing its grip. Inshallah. Once Sam Smith goes back to being normal, that's when I know the culture is healing. Thankfully, American Eagle did not bend the knee and did not apologize to the horde. In fact, they doubled down. Sidney Sweeny has great genes, is and always was about the genes. Her genes, her story. Wait a minute. Her genes, her story.
That's not spelled with a J or G.
Uh-oh. Now, I can sit here and say the obvious, like, these corporations just want to pander to you, they just want to sell you like, yeah, obviously. But have you considered, it's good when corporation pander to me, personally? I just realized so much of American political discourse is, like, around f***ing corporations and ads. The Gillette commercial, Bud Light, Protein World. There are so many examples, like, it's just crazy how so much of our politics revolves around consuming things. I will buy blue team products. I will buy red team products. Bleak. In conclusion, we are tired of ugly. There's hot people in ads again. The white woman is back, baby. Let's go. 500 trillion more to Israel. Nobody can afford a fucking house. World is run by pedophiles. But woke is dead, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's
Hell
go.
Sean had a big tip. Join her Patreon because I can't. So
I'll
somebody
give her a
join her
big tip.
Patreon for me. I'll give her my big tip. I'm kidding.
Exactly. You give her the futa big tip.
Oh, she gonna like it.
Yes, yes.
I know. I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
This is
I'm gonna keep doing
only half of what you do on stream.
You know, I'm supposed to be making a better impression for this channel than I do for my own. Alright? So let's not talk about the moaning and the almond water senpai and the fucking.
I know.
That's staying in the video. Almond water senpai? Oh my god. Yes, I really did do that.
Anyway, I hope you guys have a good one. I hope you enjoyed. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.